Hello everybody, welcome to Homeopathy Defined. Today we are continuing with Sepia part 5 and part 1 of the particulars and physical generals of Sepia. So and I know it's going to be a very exhausting video, it's a very long video, but I tried making it more interesting and engaging. So let's get started with the appearance of Sepia. Appearance of Sepia includes two extremes. The person is either thin, scrawny, rigid muscle fiber, very competitive, or the person is flabby, little fat, full of inertia, pot-bellied. You know, it's two extremes. So you shouldn't be prejudiced here. You should have an open mind that two kinds of females may be Sepia when they're coming to a clinic, right? So this is to understand two different personalities do exist. And also two functions of adrenaline or adrenal gland. So hypofunction and hyperfunction. Hypofunction includes the depression, indolence, the lack of concentration, dizziness, faintness, dullness, and the hyperfunction will make the individual be more industrious, busy, and neurasthenias are maybe present, and melanosis or hyperpigmentation, and the imbalance of blood pressure. So two extremes here. So this will help you understand if the how everything is going on inside. So if it is hyper or hypoadrenaline function. Now let's go to ill effects. Now before that, it is also known as a washerwoman remedy that you should know. It's a very important one. And under physical generals, one important thing is the women affections. Either it is the pregnant ladies affections or the lactating females, there may be sudden prostration or sinking sensation. And the ill effects also are very important in any drug, because that will guide the physician to give certain remedies. So if the acute, since in acute cases it's very important, also in chronic, what is like the maintaining cause. Now that would be a organon lecture, but I am not going there. But ill effects of Sepia are also very important. Now we will discuss some food related and the mind related ill effects are there if you want to divide it under to understand it better. So it's either anger, vexation, blows, injuries, overlooking, and the mental one, and the laundry work is when their activity or the work they are doing, and the physical includes the boiled milk affections, the fat, pork, and the tobacco. Like we've discussed in the child of Sepia, the person may have effects with sour food or pork or fried food. So they disagree that, and boiled milk disagree is a very important symptom with respect to GIT of Sepia. So again, let's continue with some more physical generals before starting the particulars. So physical generals as given in Allen's keynotes, very important, you have to remember them. Now, the first picture here you can see is the lower back. The next a female who's shivering, and you have ball-like sensation, hence very clear, and then you have somebody fainted. So the first one is pain settles in the lower back from the distal part. It is opposite to Sabina, right? And then you have ball-like sensation in the hollow organs like rectum, uterus, and chilled so easily, shivering. And the final picture is sudden fainting. So it is given like fainting, especially while kneeling in the church. So that's why I have put a nun picture who's fainted apparently. So sudden fainting is also there. You have to remember Sepia in sudden fainting situations, right? And the other two important physical generals are, one, they cannot bear anything tight around their neck. They have this weird sensation, the band-like sensation. It's not similar to anacardium, but it is similar to lachesis, but they don't want anything around their neck tight one. So they may feel suffocated. So that is always there here. And flushes of the heat over face and overhead. So that is actually head, it's a typo. So flushes of heat over face and head. So even that is there under Sepia. So two important physical generals along with the rest which we have discussed, the lower back, the ball sensation, the shivering, the fainting, everything. You shouldn't forget them. You should always remember them. It's a very important segment. Now let's go to the particulars. I am not covering every particular given in the Sepia because there's a lot of literature. It's going to be very confusing if you're covering everything. But the important one you have to remember is the shock-like pain, especially at menstrual nisus, and amelioration by tight bandage, and aggravation by mental labor or emotional labor, and motion stooping. So this is a very important symptom, first symptom. The second one is coldness or vertex, right? Even that is important. And the third one is great falling of hair after chronic headache, and this is also an indicative for threatened apoplexy. So again, apoplexy because of the stasis of the blood in the head, right? That is also there. Now coming to the eye complaints, it's one of the trio of ptosis, right? So drooping of eyelids is given, and then apart from that, another important is falling out feeling of eyes. It's a very peculiar sensation. You've heard about eyes drawn inward, but this is a very important sensation here, falling out feeling in eyes, and red itchy tarsi. So even these three symptoms are very important. Apart from that, you have zigzag flashes, there's photophobia, intolerance to light, like common symptoms of conjunctivitis may be present in sepia, and it is also indicative in a lot of infiltrative diseases of eyes, right. So you have to remember these particular symptoms. For us, it is a very important segment: eyes, ptosis, and red itchy tarsi, falling out sensation of eyes. Three symptoms, very important. Rest you can write because it's already given. A lot of common symptoms are anyway present. Now coming to the ear complaints, one important symptom of ear complaints includes herpes behind the ears. So herpes behind the ears is very important in sepia, right. And apart from that, you have sudden deafness present, sudden deafness, swelling and eruptions of external ear. So again, I told you I am not covering every symptom, but these three symptoms are very important, repeated in a lot of Materia Medica, so they have a lot of importance in knowing them. Also it will help you when you are writing a drug picture. Under ear you are writing few symptoms, it's very important to include good symptoms, right. Now coming to the nasal symptoms. Nasal symptoms, I like to compare it with Kali bike, because both of them, Kali bike is a syphilitic remedy as you know, so and sepia is a psychosyphilitic remedy. Here you have green catarrh, green crusts, or like atrophic catarrh and green crusts, and great sensitiveness to odors, ozena epistasis, and brown yellowish stripe across the nose. So you may have other symptoms include, there's a lot of rhinitis, there's a lot of sinusitis symptoms, but atrophic rhinitis with green crust, sepia, you have to remember, even at least to compare it with other drugs which are prominent, especially Kali bike. Now coming to the face symptoms include, like I've put a yellow tinted face here, so that explains the saddle like brownish distribution on the nose and cheeks. You have yellow blotches on the face, chloasma, cancer lips, and epithelioma also. Epithelioma is a very important symptom, not only arsenic or calendula, you have to think of sepia also. And you have mouth symptoms. One very important mouth symptom is tongue foul becomes clear at each menstrual nisus. It's a very important symptom. And taste in the mouth is salty. Everything tastes too salty. That is also there in sepia. And then you have swelling and cracking of lower lips, right. And taste, different kinds of taste may present. Bitter taste is present in nux vomica. You have cheesy, fishy, bitter, putrid taste in the sepia. Now coming to the GI complaint. GI is very important. We have discussed the ball-like sensation in the rectum. Now apart from that, very important symptom is all gone sensation in the stomach, and sinking or faint-like sensation in the epigastrium, and painful sensation of emptiness, and that is better by eating. So all gone sensation better by eating. And smell of cooked food nauseates, especially under morning sickness in the female complaints of pregnant ladies or pregnant females, and boiled milk disagree. So that is also there in sepia, you shouldn't forget that. And then comes the abdomen complaints. You have dragging down pain of hypogastrium, you have protruding piles, aggravation on walking, you have prolapse of rectum after tobacco, very peculiar symptom, and brown spots on the abdomen, and sense of weight of ball, not better with stool in the rectum is clear, you shouldn't forget that. Knotty stool also, difficult pain after long time after passing stool. So I hope it was clear, and it's a very lengthy video I know, but it's very important one, and we'll be dealing with the rest of the particulars in the next video. So everybody stay tuned.